What if tomorrow dragons weren't just fantasy? What if they were real? Imagine these majestic creatures with their fiery breath and towering wingspans soaring through our skies. How would our world change? The discovery of dragons would be an event of unprecedented scale. Governments and scientists would scramble to understand these creatures. The world would watch in awe and fear. Our planet, shared with a species as powerful as dragons, would never be the same. The rules of the game would be forever altered. Welcome to the Age of Dragons. The impact of dragons on Earth's ecosystems would be profound. Their immense size and voracious appetites would put a strain on existing food chains. Imagine a dragon swooping down on a herd of cattle or decimating a school of fish. The fiery breath of dragons could trigger massive wildfires, reshaping landscapes in a matter of hours. Forests could be decimated, and entire ecosystems could be thrown into chaos. The impact on biodiversity would be significant. However, nature is resilient. New ecological niches might arise, with species adapting to the presence of dragons. Perhaps some animals would develop camouflage to evade a dragon's gaze, while others might thrive in the fire-ravaged landscapes. Our cities, built for humans, would be woefully unprepared for dragons. Imagine a dragon landing on a skyscraper, its weight crushing the building beneath its claws. Traffic would be thrown into disarray as people stopped to gawk at these majestic creatures. Air travel would have to be completely rethought. A mid-air collision with a dragon would be catastrophic. New air traffic control systems capable of detecting and tracking dragons would be essential. Evacuation plans would need to be devised for cities in the event of a dragon attack. Special shelters designed to withstand a dragon's fiery breath would need to be built. Our urban landscapes would need a significant overhaul. The emergence of dragons would spark a technological revolution unlike anything we've ever seen. Scientists and engineers would race to develop new technologies to study and interact with these creatures. Imagine drones designed to track dragon migration patterns or heat-resistant suits for researchers studying them up close. Communication would be revolutionized. Perhaps we could learn to decipher dragon roars and use them to communicate. Imagine a world where we could send messages via trained dragons soaring over vast distances in a fraction of the time. Weaponry would also evolve. While we would strive to coexist peacefully with dragons, we would also need to develop defenses in case of attacks. Imagine sonic cannons that disrupt a dragon's flight or energy shields that deflect their fiery breath. Section 5. Dragon-proofing our lives. Our daily lives would be irrevocably changed in the presence of dragons. The very fabric of our routines would be altered. Simple activities like going for a walk in the park or having a picnic would require careful planning and awareness of dragon activity. Families would need to ensure their safety by using protective domes. Imagine checking dragon migration maps before leaving the house, much like we check the weather forecast today. This would become a daily habit, essential for avoiding dangerous encounters. Buildings would need to be designed with dragon-resistant materials. Architects would innovate new designs to ensure safety and durability. Fireproof construction would become the norm, and reinforced structures would be necessary to withstand the occasional dragon landing. This would lead to a boom in specialized construction industries. Our cities would take on a distinct, dragon-proofed aesthetic. The skyline would be dotted with unique, fortified structures. Even our diets might change. Dragon meat, anyone? Culinary experts would experiment with new recipes and cooking techniques. While the thought might seem outlandish now, it's not inconceivable that dragon meat could become a delicacy or even a staple in some cultures. Restaurants would compete to offer the best dragon dishes. The culinary world would be turned on its head, with food critics and chefs alike exploring the potential of this new ingredient. Section 6. The New World Order, Dragon Laws and Regulations. The emergence of dragons would necessitate a complete overhaul of our legal systems. New laws and regulations would be needed to manage interactions between humans and dragons. Imagine laws against dragon poaching regulations governing the ownership and training of dragons. International cooperation would be more crucial than ever. Dragons would not respect national borders. Their presence would require global collaboration on conservation efforts, airspace management, and disaster response. A new era of global diplomacy would be ushered in. Ethical considerations would abound. Should we be allowed to ride dragons? Should we use their fire for our own purposes? The discovery of dragons would force us to grapple with complex ethical dilemmas, challenging our values and beliefs. Section 7. Living in the Age of Dragons, Awe and Apprehension. The awe-inspiring sight of a dragon soaring overhead would become a regular occurrence, a breathtaking spectacle that would never lose its magic. Imagine children growing up with dragons as a part of their world, learning about their behavior and mythology in school, integrating these magnificent creatures into their daily lives and education. The wonder of dragons would permeate our art, literature, and music, inspiring countless works of creativity and imagination, influencing generations of artists and musicians. However, this awe would be tempered with a healthy dose of apprehension, a constant reminder of the potential danger that these powerful beings represent. The destructive power of dragons would always be at the back of our minds, a looming threat that could strike at any moment, causing widespread fear and anxiety. We would learn to coexist with these magnificent creatures, respecting their power while marveling at their beauty, finding ways to live in harmony despite the inherent risks. Life in the Age of Dragons would be a constant balancing act, a delicate dance between wonder and fear, respect and caution, requiring vigilance and understanding from both humans and dragons. It would be a world forever changed, a world where the impossible had become real, where the boundaries of our imagination had been expanded, and where the coexistence of humans and dragons had become a new reality. Section 8. Our Dragon Future, a World Transformed. The discovery of dragons would be a defining moment in human history, a moment that would be etched in the annals of time. It would challenge our understanding of the world, shaking the very foundations of what we know. It would push the boundaries of our technology, driving innovation and new frontiers, and it would force us to reevaluate our place in the natural order, making us question our role on this planet. It would be a future filled with challenges, to be sure, as we adapt to coexist with these magnificent creatures. But it would also be a future filled with wonder, excitement, and endless possibilities. The potential for incredible discoveries would be immense, opening doors to new realms of knowledge. The Age of Dragons would be an age of transformation, a period of profound change and growth. It would be an age that would redefine what it means to be human in a world no longer our own, a world shared with dragons. So, the next time you look up at the sky, imagine the impossible and let your mind wander. Imagine a world where dragons are real, soaring through the skies. It might be closer than you think, closer than we ever dared to dream.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narration.